Have you been scanning the internet for an answer to overcoming anxiety? Well, I have Christina here with us today. She's going to share her transformation of how she was able to overcome anxiety. She was doing the same thing you're doing, looking for answers online. She tried a number of things that maybe you have tried, such as tapping and meditation. She'd even tried other programs that were out there to try to help her overcome. But when she found us, a holistic approach where she was going to learn how to heal emotionally, physically, and spiritually, she knew she had found the answer she had been looking for. Well, thank you, Christina and Bill. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm so excited to just share your transformation with our audience. And so, would you just paint a picture for us of where did you start before we started working together at Achieve Emotional Mastery? Christina, what were you dealing with? What did it look like?
Yeah, well, it was pretty much an emotional, physical, spiritual roller coaster.
Hmm.
It was hard. There were good days, but most of them were pretty 24/7. There was a lot of fear. There
Yeah.
was a lot of anxiousness. It's the doom and gloom, that
Okay.
just always present. And it disrupted everything in my life. It disrupted my social activity. Um, it 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 had me. Well, I think physically was the biggest factor for me
Okay.
because the energy was low. I'm normally an energetic
Hmm.
person. Then the energy was
Okay.
low, and it was really hard that way. I couldn't do
Okay.
all the things that I normally do. It pretty much debilitated me as far as my normal lifestyle because it
Okay.
had come on quickly. And so I was looking at something that had happened
Yeah.
pretty quickly, and then
Okay.
it was really
Okay.
hard.
So things were functioning pretty normally. This hit, and I remember we've talked about some trigger events. Okay, and then it declined quickly. But I appreciate what you said there. Of it stopped you from living life normally. Okay, so
Yes.
you guys are both pretty active, right? Very active. Get out there, living a very
Yes.
full retired life. All right, and then things
Yes.
slow down. So tell me just a little bit as far as like what for activities changed? Like you were before doing this kind of thing and now you weren't? Like what did that look like for the
Yeah, I've
anxiety?
always been active. I've been a runner, a cyclist. I swim all the time.
Hmm.
Aerobics, anything. I was always active, but this it took me down where I couldn't do these things. And I also
Okay.
had regular heartbeats,
Okay.
which
Sure.
really, really concerning. And so it was just totally out of the ordinary for me, and it was frightening, actually frightening.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
also had lots of digestion problems that interrupted my sleep at night. I had
Okay.
brain fog. I had all of
Hmm.
these things that
Yeah.
totally flipped my life around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for painting that picture. I appreciate that you mentioned brain fog, which is a huge. So many of our clients have that issue, as well as of course it affects your sleep. But I want to come back to the heart palpitations for
Okay.
just a second. So with that, um, went got it checked out. Everything looks pretty normal. Yes.
Yes. They told me I had PVCs, which he said they are kind of normal for some people. They're not dangerous, but they had
Okay.
absolutely turned my life upside down. And
Wow.
um, they really didn't have any answers for. I didn't want any answers from the medical world on that, but I wanted to
Okay.
know if they were dangerous, and they said
Okay.
no, they're not
Hmm.
dangerous.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay. So not dangerous, but again, we're not really sure. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
yeah.
For you, Bill, what kind of things did you notice? I know we talked a lot at the beginning. I know you were very concerned. So, what kinds of things did you notice before we
It
got
was a
started?
challenge to plan anything because
Okay.
one minute she felt good and wanted to do all sorts of stuff, but then when it came to actually doing it, she fell apart and couldn't do anything. And so it
Okay.
was unpredictable. And for me, that was a challenge because we couldn't really plan anything more than a day ahead or more than a
Wow.
month ahead because I
Okay.
didn't know how she was going to react or respond. and feel. And so
Or feel, yeah.
I just kind of mentally, okay, we just roll with it and
Wow.
change whatever plan we had. And so that's kind of what we did.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So just not making plans, not really living to your fullest in that moment. Wow. Okay. I also remember us talking a lot about what was happening with family. Like there's just consuming worry around your large family, beautiful large family that you have. But so tell us a little bit about that, of just the worry, the consuming thoughts around that.
Well, it affected me, and being the matriarch of a large family, I couldn't, my job as a grandmother and a mother is to love and support, and I didn't feel capable of really doing either.
Wow.
And so one thing I didn't want to do is be a burden. So I was just kind of on the sidelines, not participating, because I didn't want to show up and be a burden. And so it was really challenging and made me feel really sad.
I think if those family members were having any problems, it seemed to be amplified in how she reacted to it. And so it was difficult. And anyway, that was a challenge.
Yeah.
Bill, that was a great way to say that. That was a fabulous way to say that. So they're going through something, but the worry was amplifying it. Wow. Okay. Wow. Thank you for that.
Normally, she's a very social person, very social, wouldn't pass up an opportunity to be social. And frequently I'd ask her, well, let's go visit so-and-so. And she'd say, no, I don't feel social.
I couldn't.
Very unusual.
Yeah, I could not deal with social interactions, which was scary for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Yeah, especially if it's out of your character. Like this isn't normal. I'm not reacting to life or others in my normal way anymore. Wow. Okay. And so, Christina, how would you describe, how are things now? Where are you at now?
I am a total 180. I have no anxiety at the moment and haven't for over a month. And all I can say is everything that came with that anxiousness is gone. So
our calendar's
really full.
I love that. Calendar's really full again.
I'm the one that starts the lunch groups and the dinner groups and keep them going and whatever, and I'm back on track. So
love that. I loved many of our celebrations through our time together. Was like, hey, we're going here, we're going there, and yeah, so good. I love that. Oh, that's good. So tell us about some of the other things as well. So sleep's back online. That's good.
Totally. I can sleep 7 or 8 hours, and that's how I did before. So everything seems to have just calmed back down to normal and with no hint of anxiety.
Love that. That's good. Okay, so back to living life normally, living that full life. And I know you still have all those kids, all those grandkids, they still have some issues. So what does that look now? What does that look like now?
Well, you know what? I'm back to being able to feel in control of my own thoughts and feelings. In other words, I can look at them and say, they have their own journey. They're doing fine. I can be there and support and love them, but I don't have to take on the burden. I don't have to worry about myself and being overly concerned. It's fine. I can deal with problems, and I can deal with their lives and just love them and have joy and hope and faith in the future, which that was hard to do, to have, have faith when that doom and gloom was there. It was almost impossible.
Yeah, that's good. I love the way you said that. It was near impossible. So, Christina, I know that you had tried a lot of different things to make the situation better. What kinds of things had you tried in the past?
One of the main things was meditation, and all kinds of meditation that was helpful. I had tried tapping, if you know what tapping is. I had signed up for a couple of other programs, which I knew weren't going to work for me. They were too academic.
Okay.
They were too much information and not enough, like your program, which combined the spiritual and whatever. I knew they just weren't right for me, and I spent some money on them, but didn't care. I just left them. And several apps, on the internet. There are things out there that really can help you, but they're all temporary and they help in the moment. But it's like that roller coaster where they help so you feel good, and then after you do them, and the hard part comes back, and it just hits you again. It's harder to deal with it because you're just going to be in that cycle like this, and that's hard. For roller coaster. It's hard for me.
Roller coaster.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you saying that. Like, I really do, because this is one of those things. It's like, oh, meditation or, all the things, but that's exactly what it is. It's like temporarily it's okay. And then it just keeps coming back. And that's where the frustration really starts to set in. Yeah. So what did you think then? So you tried some other coaching opportunities, some different approaches for healing. Obviously, we do things a little bit differently here, where we heal emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So what did you think of just about putting all three of those together?
It really worked for me. It really did. And I think the most impactful thing for me was the mind transformation. And it took me at least a month to even get acquainted and figure it out.
Okay.
But what it did was just help me to organize my thoughts and dig deep. And I realized afterwards, this had helped me so much that it can help me in other areas of my life. Now, I am after anxiety, it works for anything in life. And so I plan on using it.
Love that.
Forever.
I love that. Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, Christina. I love that. Good. Very good. So, Bill, what did you think about working right alongside Christina for this breakthrough?
Well, I tried to support her in every capacity that I could. And so I was there for her frequently. She was a little clingy at times and just needed somebody to snuggle up and just hold her. And other times, now that she's better, she's not doing that, which is, I guess so. Okay.
That's she's right.
Now we got to find other reasons to snuggle, I guess. I'm hearing a request here.
Well, it was a very different situation. And so I'm just glad she's back and she's planning and she's happier and getting a lot more done.
I'm not as needy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good, but that's not the kind of.
She accomplished so much more when she's feeling better than when she's playing.
I love that. I think you need to say that again. She accomplishes so much more now that she's feeling better, huh? That's huge. Yeah.
Very driven and healthy and just together.
It's good.
So that's exciting.
It is. It is very. Christina, would you mind divulging? I know we're never supposed to ask a lady her age, but I feel like it's a helpful thing because, again, those are watching sometimes say, "Oh, I'm too old," or "Oh, I'm too young," or whatever. So, would you mind divulging? How old are you?
No, I don't mind. I'm 72 and be 73 in just next month. So
nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Just because I'm like, again, like, no, like, it's never too late. It's time to do this.
No.
And I also want to draw out that really and again, we had talked about before, this was a pattern, right? You had experienced this previously, had gone away for a while and then it was back. Mm-hmm. But your time that this got really bad was brief. It hit hard, it hit fast, and it took you down quickly. And so I want to point that out too, because again, I know as our audience watches, they look for, I want them to see a huge range of folks. And so really it got bad for a short period of time. It was less than 6 months. Yes.
4 months.
4 months.
4 months.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I worked with you for less than 2 and I got rid of it. So. Mm-hmm.
love that. I
I
love that so
suffered.
much.
I suffered for a long time looking for solutions for
Mm,
at least 2.5 months until I found you. Yeah.
yeah, love that. Love that. Thank you for that, Christina. Because I think it's so, again, and you know, I've said this to you before, but just so courageous to go enough. Like, you know, how for many people, they have to go through it for years before they go, okay, now it's enough. And so I love that. It's like, why not? Let's get rid of it as soon as we can, so that exactly what Bill said, right? So you
Yeah.
can feel better, so you can start accomplishing things again. Which, speaking of accomplishments,
Okay.
I want to talk about your writing a little bit, because I know that you were writing your legacy down. So tell us about that project.
Well, I started writing my life story. It was a year ago last Christmas. It was actually a gift from a daughter, my youngest daughter, who gave me, she paid for this wonderful website, and you write a chapter. And at the time I thought, oh, one more thing I've got to do, but I got into it and have been very, very dedicated.
Okay.
But this anxiety really put a stop to it. I couldn't sit and write. And so it'll be 2 years this Christmas. And I thought, I've got to get this done. And I'm almost there. But there was a
Love
4 month. It's amazing how debilitating it was for me to be able to have clear thought and be able to and even sit there
Huge.
and enjoy it and think this is wonderful. So
It's
that's
big.
that's my one goal for the rest of
Yeah.
this year, is to finish
Okay.
it. And it'll be published and bound in a book, and I'll be ordering
Beautiful.
probably 40 copies for every member of my family.
That
So
is awesome. I love that so much. I mean, such a neat idea to begin with, like just a beautiful idea, but so interesting, right? Because again, the anxiety isn't just the anxiety part; it's the can't think clearly, can't sit still, not being able to focus. But also, you nailed it right there. Weren't really enjoying it either. It's huge. Where now it's like, okay, now I can think clearly, I can focus, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, what a legacy. That's just a beautiful, beautiful project. I love the idea. I can't wait to see it in print. That's so exciting.
can I just say too that I couldn't feel the same things either. I couldn't feel the emotion that I wanted to put into it. And with the anxiety, there was also that I couldn't I couldn't see colors, but I mean, I couldn't feel the colors and music. Could I just say that music, I'm a musician, and I could not feel music for 4 months. And that was really hard for me. And when I came out of this and I could again feel emotion, and music just started lifting me up again, I felt like I had been in a basement dark room, and I just walked out into the sunlight, and I could feel the warmth, I could see colors, and it's that powerful. I'm not even being dramatic. It was that powerful for me. Yeah.
I love that. I'm not even being dramatic. No, that's a beautiful, I love the word picture there. It's gorgeous. Yeah. Love that. Yeah. And I appreciate you bringing up the music as well, because I feel like a lot of our musicians feel that way, that like this is a passion, it's something they enjoy very much, and then it just goes away. And that is sometimes the moment they're like, uh-oh, now we've got a big problem. And so it's kind of, for some, it can be that wake up call of going, okay, now we've got to fix that. So I love that that's back. That's back too. Good.
I'm happy. I'm happy when I can sing, when I can play the piano, when I can enjoy good, solid music. That's when I'm very happiest. So
love it. It's so good. So good. Wonderful. So Christina, I know that before we started that, I know it was miserable. And as you said, debilitating in places in your life, but also it seemed like you had a pretty good handle of being okay if you needed to be, like, pulling it together in moments when you had to, so that other people weren't aware. Is that right?
I was very high functioning, but it was, I guess that you could say it was hurt. It hurt all the time.
Mm.
I didn't, it was awful to be hurting all the time. And, but I realized I always did have the faith that I would come out of it. I knew I would. And I didn't want to be lagging behind. I wanted things accomplished while I was hurting. I mean, I was going to be hurting, whether I was accomplishing something or not. But it was hard. It was about 10 times harder than if I had felt good. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
I just wanted to, because I find it so interesting. Often our clients, and you said it right, debilitating. And I think for me, like the way I define it is different, but it does feel debilitating because it steals your life, right?
Yes.
The way it isn't normal, right? Everything
Yes.
is harder, excruciating harder.
Feels the
And so
happiness and joy. The happiness and joy just goes right out the window, too.
Yeah. So I'm glad, so glad for you. Just so exciting. So again, thank you guys just for sharing just your journey. So inspirational. What would you say to somebody that's watching that needs to kick this to the curb, that needs to overcome? What would you say to them?
Oh, thank you for that opportunity. I would say don't quit. I'd say doing your own due diligence and your own hard work is absolutely crucial. And then always trust in God that He is going to help you. That's one of another big bonuses that it's helped me to just increase my trust in God. And I know
even with that, I want to highlight that because that was a
Okay.
piece that you had before we started, right?
Mhm.
You know God, you trust in God.
Mhm.
But again, there was all this worry, right? There was this place of being like, how do I actually let go of worrying about my kids and really trust God? But that was something you learned through our process, yes?
Yes, and I learned, and I already knew it, but I already knew that God loved me and that Jesus Christ loved me. But I became aware of a greater sense that He is aware of me. And
Wow.
trusting in Him enabled Him to help heal me. So much of it was my responsibility. Trust and let Him do what He needed to do through you. And that's what I found. I don't doubt for a minute that no matter what happens to me in the future, and I haven't got that many decades left, I've got 1 decade maybe, I don't know. But again, you can't know too much or too, I just know that I'm safe in His hands and that He's aware of me. And that's so important these days because we have a lot
Love
to.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. It's big. I love that. Thank you, Christine.
Simply put, we feel we were led to you,
Mm.
our faith that we currently have, and it enabled her to shorten the period of time to heal, and I think that was a big plus.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Good. Thank you guys again. Thank you just for being open, sharing your transformation. And it's been a pleasure to work with you. Absolutely. I want to, as always, just thank you for digging in, for coachability. And Christina, you brought some great questions. And so it was a pleasure to answer those questions for you and just to cheer you on and be in the mix with you. Just a pleasure. So thank you guys so much. It's been a joy to love on you both throughout this process. And again, I'm so proud of your journey and so glad to hear like how back affecting your family in a good way again. Like, for you to say, I was starting to feel like a burden is huge. And now to just be right back there leading the family and that joy and peace, it's amazing. Absolutely beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.
You're very welcome. If you are ready to overcome anxiety and depression, then I want to share with you exactly what you need to do next. And that is to check out our free masterclass. This is where I cover the 5 shifts our clients, just like Christina and Bill, have used to overcome anxiety and depression. So check that out. It's at stacyrivera.com/freedom. And you can take a look at our registration page, get registered for a free masterclass. And again, it's going to walk you through step by step by step. Just like you heard Christina and Bill talk today, we have a step-by-step strategy. Okay, this isn't magic. We are very good at what we do here. We're very good at helping you overcome anxiety and depression. However, there is a step-by-step process. We're going to lay that out for you. And so go to stacyrivera.com/freedom and check out our masterclass, where we will show you exactly how to heal emotionally, physically, and spiritually so you can overcome anxiety and depression once and for all and secure success in your life.